now we're going to start again. We're going to do a new folder. For those of you who did it, it's okay. I'm just going to redo it one more time. We go Projects. We're going to go to Open a New Project. And we're going to press New Single User Project. And we're going to put the name as Additional Modeling Tools. So you can write Additional Modeling Tools. And it's in the folder so we know where it's going to save. We're going to press Finish. Oh, it already exists. So hold on one second. We're going to edit this. So we're going to make it again. We're going to do New, Single, put the name in, Additional Tools, Finish, and now it's going to work. I already had it saved from before. That's why. So now we're going to go press a new part. Again, we're going to be in inches. We're going to go to our sketch. Like I said earlier, we either could click on the plane here, or we could click on the plane we want over here. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a circle in the middle. Again, if you click in the center, we're going to grab it, and then you can right click and you can switch to, where's my door, radius or diameter. So in this case we want radius, so we're going to right click radius, and we're going to type in 0.630. It's a lot easier to do that way. Or if you want, just times it by 2 to get the diameter. The next step we're going to do is we're going to draw a line across like so, and we're going to dimension it. We're going to go press Dimension, and the dimension should be from the line to the bottom of the circle. We're going to click on it, and we're going to type in 1.102. There's our perfect line, and from there we're going to cut it using the trim option. So the trim is found right above, and we're going to trim, trim, trim. And we can still have our dimension there placed. Good. So now that that's done, the next step we're going to do is we're going to press on the rectangle. On the rectangle, you're going to see you have a whole bunch of different slots. We have slots center to center, overall, center point, 3-point arc, center point arc. That's the one we're going to use. So before it looked like this on the rectangle. If you click on it, you have more options, and you can scroll down to center point arc. From there now, we're going to select the origin, because that's our first point. Then we're going to click one line on this location and one on the opposite side. And then you could pull it out to give it a thickness. If you knew the diameter right away or the radius, you could type it in, but in this case we'll add it on later on. So there we go. So now we have it set. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to click Dimensions, and we're going to use the constraints. Sorry? Yeah, we're going to draw a construction line. So we're going to go on the line, and we're going to go over here to the format, and then you have construction line, center line, or center point. In this case, we're going to use construction line. We're going to draw from the center. We're going to go all the way across, like so. So now we have our construction line. From there, now we're going to use our dimension, and we're going to go from the first point, right, the center, and this point over here, and we're going to get our diameter here. But before we type in the actual one, we should use our constraints, correct? So what constraint should we use? Which one is symmetric? This one over here. So now what do? We select it. We choose the end cap 1, end cap 2, and we use the line we just built before. So now it's going to be perfectly in the center. By doing that now, if I were to change the dimension, like so, to the correct number, which is 30, right? It's going to place it in the middle. Now if I didn't do those constraints and I undo it just to show you what happens, watch. Now I don't have the center line, or we can just go back. So just this. If I go put the dimension same way, 1, 2, 3, I still could put it, and I type in 30, you get this option. And if I did that first, and then I we'll draw a construction line again, just to show you. Construction line, make sure it's selected. And I go across like so. And then I use symmetric, which is over here. And I click the top, the second top, and the middle. It still works as well. There's two options of doing it. Okay? Good. So now that that's done, the next step we're going to do is we're going to add another dimension, which we're going to go dimension from the center, I think, to the middle of it. Like, no, this is not it. Which one is it? It should have been from dimension from this point, right, to this point. We should be getting the other dimension. Okay. So now, let's do it again, now that it works. You go click the center arc, and there you go. You can click on it, and now this dimension should be 0.512. So now it's spacing it out so it's perfectly aligned on the piece. Once that's done, we're going to use the circular pattern, which is going to make one over here and one on the opposite side. So we're going to go to circular pattern. We're going to go make sure we click the geometry, which is the piece we just built. The axis point is going to be this one over here. Direction, we're going to flip the direction. And we're going to put how many? 4 total. And 180 degrees. And for some reason, it didn't grab this. For some reason, there we go. 1, hold control. 2, 3, 4. And it should be able to, it looks like it's doing okay. We have it at 4 in total because we want 4. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to make sure we have the axis going in the right direction, which is going down, and we want it to go at 180. So if we press OK, we have them perfectly aligned. If we didn't add this dimension, they wouldn't be perfectly spaced. They'll be different orientation. Once we're done with that, the next thing we could do is we could press Finish Sketch. And now we have our nice sketch placed. We're going to extrude it now. Click the center. And we're going to put a distance of 0.236. Does it make a difference if we go one direction or the another? No. You could do midpoint, you could go back, you could go forward. I'm going to do midpoint because I like to be a little bit different. Press OK, and there you go. You have the piece nicely set. So we can continue doing it, but what we're going to do in ahead, in case the computer crashes, is we're going to save this. And we're going to save it in advance before something goes wrong. And we're going to save this piece as, I guess we'll call it Tutorial 1. So we're going to do File, Save As, which is good practice. Inside, it's already in the folder. We're going to call it Tutorial 1. The next one, 02, and so forth. All right, so now that we saved the piece and we extruded it, again, the extrusion should have been, give me 1 second to check. If I go right click, edit sketch, that's how you edit the sketch. If I want to see my feature, I go to the extrusion, edit feature, and I could change my distance, I could change my direction, anything I want to do in that piece. Now that that's done, the next step we're going to do is we're going to go to the back face. We're going to go shift pan with the mouse, and we're going to go to the back face of this piece. And we're going to start a sketch on the back face. So now that we have this back of it, we're going to go make a circle. Alright, we're going to create a circle from the center where it goes green, and we're going to put a diameter of 0.472. Is the diameter or radius? Perfect. If it was a radius, I could have clicked here, right clicked, switched to diameter, and if I would have put the same number, 0.472, it would have fit also. That was weird. But it's not. We're going to use this one over here. And it should be, let me double check it. Did I not put the right number? 0.472. There, that was the correct one. Now that's done, we're going to extrude it using the 3D finish sketch, 3D model, extrude. And we're going to go out. What's the direct distance we're going to use? 0.078. Enter. And now we have our piece sticking through like so. Good. Again, if you want, you could use the save option. So it keeps it up to date. Once that's done, if I want to see how it looks, I could always go back to my view, visual styles, and I could do hidden. So now I could see that it's behind. I have the holes going through. We see it. And if I look here, it's the extrusion going above. Nice. Let's go click the arrows. And the next thing we're going to use is we're going to use the hole feature. So let's turn this back to shaded with edges. And we're going to go back to sketch. it should be 3D model, sorry. And we're going to go click on the hole which is in the modify. So if you go to the 3D model tab, under modify, you'll see the hole feature. Alright, so now we're going to set the perimeters as you see fit. So we're going to click on the profile here, click, and now we're going to go, and I don't have my pop-up, that's over here. My pop-up seems to be off the screen. So it looks a little bit different. Sorry? Okay, so the hole should be actually on this side, on the front face. So let's go back to the front of our face, like so. Let's rotate this, and we're going to go make a hole. Hole. We're going to click the front face. So now, some good thing for placement, we're going to go make it, not the selection, you should be able to click, and we should be able to center it. Do we know how to center it? We should be able to make it concentric. We should be under, where's my, if I do again hole, and I click the center, and then I click this face here, there we go, concentric. You select the outside, and it's going to center it. On the older versions, you were able to go click on it, but in this case here, we're going to click on the outer border, and you see it's going to place it to the concentric. That's a circle showing it. From there now, we're going to go use the counter bore. If you look, hover over, this is a simple hole. This is a clearance hole, tapered hole. This is a tapered hole again. Countersink, spot face, counter bore. That's the one we're looking for. So we're going to click on that one over there. And then we're going to go do through all. So again, termination is a distance, through all. If you hover over an actual piece, it'll show you what it is. See again, this is a distance saying it's going to go through the whole piece. This is saying we're going to give it a distance. This is saying go to the next part. So in this case, we're going to use through all. And then we're going to go change our thickness over here to 0.315. And we should be able to change this one as well. If I just click on it, it's showing us it's going to be 0.393. Click on this one, it should be 0.078. Perfect. And if you want to see the thread, we go to advanced features. No, where's the last one? The last one should have been to show the hole. I think it's right here, simple hole. There we go. We did the simple hole option. That was the first one. If I want to show the thread, it's going to show the thread here and so forth. We'll use a simple hole. And press OK. And now if I look, you'll see that the hole is placed with the space that I put of, this one here was 0.3, I think. What was the hole I did there? Let's go check. Edit feature. So that distance you see here was the 0.078. And my diameter of the bigger circle was 0.393. And the smaller hole underneath was 0.315. All right? And there we go. We have the actual piece cut. So I can go press back, my home, and I have the piece set. All right? So once that's done, I could go and press save because that part is done. It's very simple to make a hole. I could have also done, if I didn't want to use the hole features, which is very fast, I could have just did a cylinder, subtract, another cylinder, subtract, whichever way. But the whole feature is going to be a lot faster. Now we're going to go open up a sketch again. And we're going to click on the front face of the model. Again, when you click on the face, it automatically turns for you to make it more clear. Now we're going to use the point button in the create panel. So we're going to go create, and you have the point option right over here. We're going to place the point on the front face of the model. So where do we put it, guys? Up here or on the line? On the line. So if you notice, how do I know it's on the line? Because as soon as I go towards the line, my Y goes to 0. And I could click on it. There, I clicked my point. Next, we're going to go and click horizontal, right, to constrain it. So in this case here, hover over if you don't know which one it is. The reason I'm saying hover over because sometimes if you're in a different XY, your horizontal is your vertical and your vertical is your horizontal. So if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world, guys. You can just go back and redo it. And now we're going to go and choose our point, right? Is that what we're doing here? We click on the point so we know that it's locked along the y-axis. Now we're going to sketch the point and stretch. No, we're going to add a dimension, sorry. From the center, oops, dimension. From the point to the center. and we're going to add the number of 0.354. That was exactly it. Look at that. That was a spot on the right location. I did not do this. This is not, I should go play the lottery. Okay, there we go. Again, I don't promote the lottery. That was that thing. Okay, now that I have that done, I press Finish Sketch. So what did I do that for? The reason I did that for, because I'm giving the location of the next hole I'm going to be putting in. I could choose that point as my reference. I'm going to go back to the hole feature. And now from there, I'm going to use the hole from Sketch. So I'm going to go choose. It already grabbed it for me, if you noticed, because it's from already selected. And then I'm going to choose counterbore like we did before. Right? And then we're going to choose, this time we're going to use the depth, so which is, where is it? This was it, counterboard. What's the depth we're using? We're using this one here as 3.9, that's good. This one here is 0.7, perfect. And we're not going to go, no, it is different. Which one am I using? This one. We're using this one here, correct? And now we're going to go look for a different thread type. So we're going to go, we did this option right here. We did this one, which is correct. And now we're going to go to ANSI Unified Screw Threads. Perfect. We're going to choose the size. We're going to type it in, I guess. They don't have it? Or do they have it? Scroll up. 0.73, number 1. Right? And then we're going to go to choose the design, which is 164 UNC. And we're going to go do full depth. And now we're going to go choose right hand, which is right hand up here, which is already selected. But we have to change the number of that. The number is, this is correct. This one here should be 0.118. And this one here should be 39. Oops. So again, we added the new numbers of 0.118 and 0.039. If you notice, it's automatically updating it as I'm going through it. So again, we went to the thread, we chose the screw, the size, the UNC, the class. They don't really tell us the class, but you can leave it as 2B. And then we do right hand direction, full depth, and we're going to go choose OK. So now you notice we have our screw with our thread inside. If I look on the other side, it goes in like this. The next step, once we do that, is what? We should get the habit of pressing save in case it were to crash. This way, if you're saving every so often, if it does crash, you can continue from the last part. If you didn't, you're going to have to do it. If it's 10 minutes you didn't save, 20 minutes, it's 20 minutes wasted. All right. Once that's done now, we're going to click on hole number 3 before we do it. And then we're going to go choose circular pattern, which is this one over here. Or Control-Shift-0. With the feature already selected, the next step we have to do is just choose our rotation of axis, which would be, I can use any of these middle circles. So I'm going to use this one here, and that's my rotation axis. Again, I selected hole 3 before I went on circular pattern. If I didn't do that, then I would have to choose feature and choose it. I kind of skipped a step to go a little bit faster. From there, we have to do 6 of them, correct? 360 is good, and everything seems okay, right? We press OK, and now we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 perfectly placed circles with our threads inside. If I go look again, you see everything looks fine. If ever you decide you made a mistake and you want to add another one, right click, edit feature. Instead of 6, we're going to put 10. It shows you the preview. I could put 15, I think that's pushing it. Press OK, and I have them going in place. I could always go back, edit feature, go back to 6, and I could change the angle to 90 degrees. That probably won't work. No, it doesn't look good. Let's do 180, and so forth. You also have it following the rotational one, and you could also have them rotate. In this case, it's a circle, so you won't even notice the difference. But if it was a piece, a different shape, it would rotate them with the object you're using. If you choose the wrong rotation of axis, you just click on it. If you're going the wrong direction, you click on it as well. Alright, so in this case here, we go back to 360. 6, and press OK. In this case, we don't really mind about the rotation because we're doing a whole 360 circle. Now that that's done, press the home button and we'll look at our nice piece. If I go to View and I go Visual Styles and I look Shaded with Edges, you see that all my holes are going through the piece and I have my extrusion right over here. Next step we're going to do is the chamfer. We'll go back to with edges and we're going to use the chamfer button, which would be under 3D Model, Chamfer. So now we're going to add the chamfer. So we go to the chamfer button right above here and we're going to add a chamfer where? On the inner circle, correct? So again, like in most things, you have fillet, chamfer. Sometimes they may be on top of each other. So if you don't see the button, look under fillet. If you were looking for fillet and you don't see it, look under chamfer. Sometimes they separate them, sometimes they join them together. So we're going to go use the chamfer button and you're going to put the inner edge like so. Correct? And now we're going to put our distance of distance angle. So we have here distance, distance. This one distance angle. And we have two distance. So we're going to use the second option. And we're going to put our distance of 0.039 and our angle of 30. Alright? And our face, we're going to choose this face here. Correct? And we're going to press, oh, we're missing something. Our edge, we have to choose this edge again. And there you go. So again, you have to choose the edge of where you want it to be, the face of where it's going to go, and the direction, the one you want to use. You're going to press OK. And there you go. We have our piece complete. Alright? We're going to close it now. We're going to save it. And I'm going to make a tutorial for the next one. Thank you so much.